Hi guys, it's Gusiso here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by, and to my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to draft a 6-piece blouse. If this is something you are willing to learn, stay tuned while we jump right into the video. So to begin, we have to draft a full scale bodice pattern, which is from your shoulder to your desired length. If you do not know how to draft that, kindly look up the link in the description box so you can learn how to do it, because I've already done that previously on my channel. So the next thing we are going to do after drafting our basic bodice pattern is to impute our underbust line. That is your shoulder to your underbust. The shoulder to the underbust of your client, you take that and mark that line from the shoulder to the underbust on your pattern paper. Kindly note that this measurement is taken on the front pattern only. So the next measurement we are going to impute on our pattern is our underbust circumference. Our underbust circumference will be divided by 4. In this case, our underbust circumference is 31. We'll divide that by 4 and the result is 7.75. So on the underbust line, this is where we're going to impute that measurement, 7.75. So the next thing we're going to do is to take the measurement of what remains from the underbust after taking out the 7.75. So when you are done calculating what remains, you divide this result into 2 equal halves so you can share the results on each dart leg. So for this tutorial and for my own personal preference, I won't be sharing my results into 2 equal halves, but I'll be imputing 0.5 on the front dart leg and the remaining measurement of what remains from what I calculated on the second dart leg. So now with my French curve, I'm going to mark from my bust point line with a curve. I'll use a curve to connect it down to the point I just imputed on my underbust. The 2 points I just imputed on my underbust, I'm going to use a curve to connect it to the bust point line. So when we are done with that, we're going to connect this underbust point line to our waist dart. So now that we are done contouring our underbust, it's time for us to insert our armhole princess dart on our pattern. So to do that, we have to get the midpoint of our armhole. The midpoint of our armhole, we will take round of it, and whatever result we get, we'll find the midpoint of it, that's divided by 2. In this case, my armhole is 9 inches. That means the midpoint is going to be on 4.5. I'll impute that result on the armhole and mark it. So next, we're going to connect the midpoints we marked and connect it down to the bust point line. That is the dart point with a straight line. So for us to get a well-fitting armhole curve on our dress, we will come out by 0.25 on our bust line. So on the midpoint of our armhole, we'll come down by 1 inch. Then from that 1 inch, we'll connect it to the 0.25 we marked previously. This is for us to get a well-fitted armhole curve on our blouse. From the line we marked down, 1 inch line we marked down, we're going to come out by another 1 inch. Or you can work with 1.5, but in this case, I'll be using 1.5. We will come out to avoid any gaping on the armhole points, because most times if you don't add this result, when you want to sew your pattern, you see that there will be a shortage on the clothes you cut. So to avoid any shortage, you have to add 1.5 or 1 inch from that one and connect it out. So from that point, you will connect with a curve down to the chest line. It's going to serve as your new armhole curve for this particular pattern. So we will not use the one our former armhole line. This will be a new armhole for our armhole princess dart. So with a curve, we're going to connect the new armhole line to our underbust. Make sure you see how I'm going to connect it so you don't make mistake while you're making yours. This particular method is for us to get a perfect fitting armhole princess dart on our blouse. So you can see how I connected the curve. Watch how I connected the curve with another marker. So now we're going to work on our back pattern. Don't be surprised the way you're seeing the lines of my back pattern. I'm working with a measurement, and the person I'm making this for has a big waistline, that's a big tummy. So on the armhole for the back, we'll also find the midpoint of the armhole, just like we did for the front pattern. Then when we are done, we'll connect that point with a curve to the dart leg. Right now I'm about to impute our neckline. For this tutorial, I'll be using a little sweetheart neckline. From the neck width, I'll be coming out by 1.5 inches. Then for the neck depth, I'll be coming down from the 3x3 line to 2.5 down for the neck depth. Then I'll connect with a ruler and a curve just to form my desired neck line. So now I'm done drafting my armhole princess darts. So the next thing I'm going to do is to close my darts, and for me to be able to close my dart with ease, I'll have to open up with a scissors so that I'll be able to close my dart. So when I'm done closing my dart, I'll tape it down with a sellotape to hold it in place. Then adjust my side front, connecting it back to the chest line. Then cut through. Make sure you watch how I'm cutting it. So right now we are done cutting it. This is how our armhole princess dart is going to look. Now for the back, we're going to insert our neck line. You know, for the neck width in the front, we came out by 1.5. We have to do the same thing for the neck width on the back pattern. So for the client I'm making this for, she wants a V type of neck at the back of her zip. So you can come down if you want the same neckline by 2 inches or 2.5 inches down and connect the 1.5 on the width. Then now I'm going to cut through. So like this, our back pattern is ready. I'm going to label it. This is the center back, which the area the zip is going to be, and the other side is the side back. So right now our armhole princess dart pattern is ready, and our pattern has 4 panels, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. The next thing we are going to do is to convert this into a 6 pieces blouse pattern. So we're going to take each of the panels, the center front, the side front, the center back and side back, and add a pieces of paper to the length of it. This paper will be added from the waist. Then on the hem, you're going to add how wide you want your flay to be. For this pattern I'm working with, I'll be adding 3.5. If you don't want your flay to be too much, you can add 2 inches. but if you want it to be more than this, you can also add from 4 to 5 depending on your preference. So for this pattern, I'll be adding 3.5 inches. When I'm done, I'll connect it back to the waistline. So the next thing we're going to do, from this new flail line, we're going to come up by 1 inch. This 1 inch we're coming up by is to avoid any sharp points on our pattern. So it's good for us to go up by 1 inch so that it's going to form a better flail and not a sharp edge flail. Then when you are done, you cut it out. So next, for the side front, we're going to repeat the same process for the side front. But the difference between the center front and the side front is that for the side front, we'll be adding these 3 inches on the 2 sides. We can't do this on the center front because for this type of 6 pieces that I'll be making, is going to be on fold. The center front is going to be on fold. So now I'll be adding the 3.5 inches on the left hand side and the right hand side of the side front. Then when we are done, we're going to connect this mark to the waistline. And after connecting this to the waistline, the way we come up by 1 inch on the flare line, we'll also do the same thing on these 2 sides. We've added the flare line. The next thing we're going to do is to cut through this pattern. To repeat the same process on the side back, we're going to add 3.5 inches by the hem for the 2 sides, then connect to the waistline. Then as usual on the flail line, we're going to come up by 1 inch, then curve back to the hem of our pattern. So for the center back, we're going to do the same process we did for the others. We're going to add to the 2 sides 3.5 inches. Then when we are done marking it on the 2 sides, we're going to connect that to the waist. Then go up by 1 inch on the hem and connect back to the center back piece. Then cut through. So this way our 6 pieces for this pattern is ready. All panels are ready, and this is the result for it. Next we're going to be transferring this pattern to a fabric. Now we're going to start with the center front, and for us to place our center front, we're going to fold our fabric on fold. We have to bend it into 2 for it to be on fold. Then we'll place our pattern on this. Then pin it down, pin the pattern to the fabric. It's always good to use your pins while working with fabric and pattern, so you'll not make mistake and you'll be able to put your pattern in place. So for my seam allowance, I'll be coming down by 1 inch for the hem. That's 1 inch allowance for the hem. Then for the side seam, I'll be adding 0.5 inch. On the shoulder line, I'll be adding 0.5 inch also. And on the neckline, I'll be adding 0.5 inch also. So it's just the hem that's going to be 1 inch only. All right, now we're going to cut through. So So for the side front seam allowance, so we're going to be adding 2.5 inches. I'll be using 2.5 inches because we're going to use the lining to turn. When we turn with 0.5, it will remain 2 inches. For the armhole, we're going to be adding a seam allowance of 0.5 inch for the seam allowance. Then the side seam for the other side will be adding 0.5 inch. This part is the part you're going to join to the center front, while the other part by the left is your side seam on your body, this side. On the hemline, as usual, we'll be adding 1 inch to our hemline. Then cut through with my scissors. So when you open up your center front, this is how it's going to be. Then the side front is going to be 2 pieces, one for the left. We're going to attach it for the left part of the center front and the right part. So for the back pattern, I've already cut it out, and on the center back line, that's the zip area, I've added 1.5 inches. Then for the side, then for the hem line, I added 1 inch. Then for the other side of the seam allowance, I added 0.5. This is where I'll be joining to the other part of the piece of the panel. Then on the neckline, I added 0.5 inches. For the side back, on the same line of the side, I added 2.5, just the same way I did for the side front. Then for the side seam of the other part, I added 0.5. That was where I'll be joining to the center back. Then the hem of the garment, I added 1 inch, just like every other panel. I added 1 inch for all panels, so it's going to be equal. Then for the armhole, I added 0.5 as usual. Our 6 pieces pattern is ready. So I'll be showing you how to sew these 6 pieces blouse using this pattern. So thank you all for watching. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share this video. Please, let's help this channel grow so we can learn more things on it. So thank you guys. Bye.